Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Reb. If you're new here, I'm an artist based in Texas. I do art in lots of different mediums: sketching, drawing, printmaking, and today we'll be looking at my visual journal. So if you are new to this and know nothing about this, basically at the beginning of the year I started a visual journal just as a way to capture just everyday memories and work on just drawing from my imagination or from my memory. So each month I do a little recap, and this month we're looking at July. Let's take a look inside. All right, so starting with July 1st, I decided that I would try kind of a new method, material, whatever you want to call it. I've been using the Inktense pencils with a brush pen, but I decided to try using them all on their own. So this is just the Inktense pencils and water. And I will say that I've enjoyed it. I don't think it's as easy to read as this, but just kind of a different feel altogether. So this was, like I said, July 1st, just running some errands with my son and gathering some stuff out of the garden. Day 2 was I was reorganizing some stuff that I had, and it was very overwhelming. Like, it was satisfying sorting through all the beads that I had, but also very overwhelming. So I did that for a while. Then we went to do groceries, and there was whole cacao, I don't know, beans, fruit, I don't know what you would call it, but it was pretty wild looking. And then just some daily adventures. On the 3rd, I didn't do much. It was a Thursday, and I know we did art hang party. I know that it was my first day back at work, so probably why I didn't end up putting too much in here. The 4th of July, I ended up taking part of the day off so that I could go and hang out with my family. My cousin recently had gotten a house that has a pool, so we all hung out in the pool. I am not much of a 4th of July person, especially right now, but I didn't want to deny my son the chance to play with some sparklers and stuff. If you're wondering what this is all about, my son found a miniature Ryobi leaf blower at my cousin's house. It's like a real leaf blower with a real battery, but it's tiny. I don't know what in the world you would use it for, but he was in love, and my cousin was like, please just take it. So now he is the proud owner of a tiny leaf blower. And I think he uses it pretty much every single day. So my boyfriend decided that on the way to my cousin's house, he would stop by the gas station and found these really cute, they were little gallons of alcohol, but they were small. They were maybe this big, or about a little smaller than this sketchbook. Anyways, turns out they were pretty strong, and he drank too much of them and then ate a bunch of food that probably should not have eaten, and made himself real sick. So a little too much fun the next day. A little too much fun. I also harvested an eggplant from our garden and ended up battering and frying it, and it was so delicious. The next day was a live session with Hippo. The theme was lighthouses. The references were amazing. I kind of messed this one up, so I put I pasted something in here to cover up the bit that I messed up. It was just a smear that I did by accident. And then my son decided to have a moment where he threw everything that was on his plate. So that was fun. The next day was just kind of a cleaning day, but I ended up getting some surprise mail from Melissa at Melissa Martin Art. She sent me this dot card, like a really juicy dot card with like neon colors that was really cool. So I've been playing a little bit with those. Next day was just errands. It was me and my son. It was like really stormy, but we had fun just running through the rain, trying to get our errands done. And then he was playing a ukulele and singing, and it was so freaking cute. The next day, we were all still sick, but it was just like still really stormy and so hot outside that we ended up getting in the kiddie pool and just sitting on the like covered porch and watching the rain. And honestly, it ended up being like this beautiful day with like these super puffy clouds with like beams of light coming from them. It was just really nice. Next day, still feeling pretty gross, but we decided to go to the beach just to, get some sun, get some vitamin D, some sea air, that kind of thing. And it was like a beautiful beach day. It was really nice. And I think honestly, it helped everybody feel a little bit better. The day after that, I don't remember why I was feeling kind of annoyed in the morning, but I ended up feeling a lot better later. And the day was like beautiful. The clouds had this like beautiful, like gradient purple, fuchsia orange with like this pretty blue sky behind it, like almost lavender. And then my son was driving his little four-wheeler down the driveway, which is so crazy because I remember when he could like barely press the pedal hard enough to make it go. Next day, I ended up going to work. I was feeling better, but by the end of the day, I was feeling kind of gross again. So I just like counted the money and went home and slept. Next day, 713 day, me and my son went over to the museum. We met up with my son's friend and they played in the Murakami exhibition. It was really fun. And then I did some like swatching. I was trying to kind of figure out some colors for an upcoming trip that we will talk about later. The next day, I was just like struggling. It was just like a brain fog type of day. I didn't get much sleep because my like son had a fever, and I just like literally felt like a zombie. In the morning, everybody seemed like they were feeling a little bit better. I posted a video, but then my son started feeling sick again. I will spare you the gory details, but I did get vomited on. That was fun. And me and my boyfriend tried to tackle our like mountain of laundry. And then also a pipe broke in our attic, so we just had a terrible day, to be honest. So bad that I wrote in here that feeling when work feels like a vacation. Yeah, it was that bad. But that day was art hang party. We had a good time. We drew some trees. And then my bestie was in town, so I picked him up to take, or he met me at my job and we went home from there. And we just like had a really fun conversation on the way home. The next day, I was experimenting with some texture foraging. I made like a little short about it and also a little zine if anybody's interested. But yeah, it was just like a kind of fun thing to do in the morning before I went to work. Work was fine, just kind of annoying, a lot of meetings, that kind of thing. And then I came home and tried to work in my garden a little bit, but the mosquitoes were really bad. I did get to harvest some loofah, which was pretty cool. I've never done that before, and it's interesting. These things are full of seeds. but we had fun peeling them and stuff. So, and now we have some bath sponges. Next day, my hair was wild. My hair has basically been wild since I cut bangs. And I don't know. Some days I just don't even care. I was fighting the urge to buy some more Sennelier oil pastels that I haven't used yet. They're feeling real precious right now, but I think I have some plans for them coming up soon. And then later on, we read this book that a friend gave us, and my son was just cracking up at the book. It was really cute. Day after that, we made zines with Hippo. Her Sunday live stream was like a demonstration on how to make a zine, how to cut it and fold it and orient it and all of that. And it was super helpful. I had a really fun time making that zine. And then on the way home, I was just praying that we had hot water again because we had to turn it off because of the thing in the attic. Luckily, they did fix it, and we have hot showers again. Day after that was just like a preparation day. Like, I probably should have been thinking about what I was going to take on the trip as far as clothes and, things like that. But honestly, all I could think about was what art supplies I was going to take. And I was struggling to make sensible decisions, basically. Day after that, me and my son went to the science museum with some friends and had a very silly time, but very good time. It was actually a really fun trip. I did a little short about this one, just with some pictures and stuff, but I'll post a couple here just so you can see them because they're cute. After that, we were getting ready for vacation. My boyfriend and I went and got haircuts while my son was in daycare. We did some cleaning up before, and then we found that the neighbor had a little baby cow that I've drawn half a dozen times already. It's very, very cute and very adorable. Next day was art hang party. I was kind of playing around with this gouache palette that I have. Again, I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but needless to say, I love it. I think these came out really cute. On Friday, this was the 25th, I was just basically trying to cram a whole week's worth of work into 2 days and then trying to get all our stuff ready for vacation. The next day, I don't know what got into me, but I was just feeling all the feels and just could not get out of my own head. So not much happening or not much getting done that day, I guess. And I ended up splitting this one with 2 days because literally I felt like I did nothing that day. Sunday was the day before vacation, and I was just struggling to get everything into a backpack because I didn't want to pay for a checked bag. Honestly, it's not that I didn't want to pay for it. I would have happily paid for it. I didn't want to deal with the potential for them losing it. No foreshadowing there. Or just having to go to baggage claim is such a hassle, especially when you've got a toddler. So yeah, my backpack was, as we say, repleto. Very, very full. So this brings me to day of start of vacation, which really and truly, yeah. Let me just start off by saying, just don't use Spirit. Don't use Spirit. Spirit is awful. Our flight got delayed, which no big deal, but then they kept pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. And literally 6 hours later, we finally were able to get on a plane. Thank goodness our toddler is fairly easy to entertain. I'll talk a little bit more about all the things that we did to entertain him while we were waiting for that flippin' plane. Anyways, we got to the hotel, which had this huge, like, covered area. And I don't know if you guys can see, like, just how big this thing is, but, like, that's like the car, and this is like the covered area. It was huge. So huge. After that, we got a good night's sleep, and basically, vacation started. Like, actually started. We went to Cancun, and I'm not going to get too much into like all the things that we did because I think I'm going to make that into a separate video. Just kind of talking about some of the stuff that I made while I was there, including these. But I will flip through so that you can see them so that they're included in the monthly recap. And at this point, I pretty much switched over to a different material as well. You can probably tell the like drawing style is a little bit different. I'll talk again more about that in the coming video. But it was a really, really fun time. So with that, I will leave it here as we're technically in another month. And we will see the rest of it after August is over. So that is my July in my little visual journal. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Like I said, I will be making a video about all the things that I drew and made while I was on vacation. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel and would be interested in seeing that, don't forget to click that subscribe button and also hit the like button if you enjoyed these little silly drawings. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing, and I will catch you guys on the next video.